World's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
Picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
Homeward to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell, deep right center field, carrying, and it's gone!
That was hit hard. Left center field,
on, bounce to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over! What a live shot!
I can't believe my eyes.
Welcome, everybody. It's been a minute. Back in the booth, me and Mist, the playoff duo. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm excited. Had a couple rough days playing the game myself, but I'm doing really good in Cup, and I feel like I'm a little bit back on track today, so I'm feeling good. And obviously, this series is it's in some ways more exciting than we expected. I mean, we kind of all expected Coffee to just steamroll to the finals, but you know, when you have a big break, that it always kind of just throws things into pandemonium, and then just the big reset button in general. And I think in Ice's case, he's such a unique pitcher. You can really never count him out.
Yeah, and I've been pretty much AFK, so I didn't get to catch the first or the second game. But when I looked at those box scores, I was talking to you about them in the pregame. When I saw the box scores, you would think, oh, Coffee scored 16 again. Oh, Coffee scored 12 again. And it was Burning Ice and the Gex that put up those run numbers. And like I was telling you before, I was like, if Ice is able to score like that, no one's going to beat him. He's a 4-time back-to-back Von Asen award winner. Every season he's been in the league, he has won the Von Asen. So if he's going to pair that with that sort of hitting, I mean, good luck to anybody at any level, really, all the way up to XBL. But the layoff, like you said, that's definitely a great point. And really the difference that sticks out to me on something like that is how much more Burning Ice seems to be consistently playing PvP compared to Coffee. And so a break is going to have a lot more effect on somebody with a difference like that. But Coffee's the number 1 seed for a reason. The Bluegrass Banjos returned to the AAA this year and did what they were expected to do and took that number 1 seed. Didn't lose a single playoff game until they got to these semifinals, Missed. And that brings us into that first point. We need to recaffeinate that coffee. No decaf tonight. We need double espresso shot Bluegrass Banjos to keep this thing going. He was built on the long ball. He was built on scoring runs all season, and that just disappeared all of a sudden. And Burning Ice does that to people, but someone like the Bluegrass Banjos, you expect some life out of him here in Game 3.
Yeah, that, you know, game 1 you can kind of chalk up as a fluke, and also maybe getting, you know, reacquainted and also getting a little bit used to Burning Ice's style. There's no excuse for game 2 if you're Black Coffee. You can't go from 12 or 13 runs a game to coming up with 0 on a bounce back game in the playoffs. I don't care if he's throwing curves or change-ups or screwballs or anything up there. There's no way you were scoring that many runs unless you can pretty much hit anything when you get on your game. He's off his game. So we need to recaffeinate the Black Coffee. You know, and the long ball, obviously, that's what we're referring to. That's a big part of Coffee's game is the long ball. It is harder to do that against curves and low velo and things like that, but it's not so hard that you can't put up 5 to 8 runs if you were scoring 13 or whatever it was. So I think Coffee needs to get in the 5+ range every game from here on out. Otherwise, he's done. Controlling the base pass. You know, he gave up way too many runs to Ice. I mean, we can't just look at Coffee's scoring. He didn't stop Ice at all, which usually points at least partially to the run game, which is not easy to control with Ice, granted. But you have to pay attention and put some actual effort into it. If you just fall asleep at the switch, he'll run wild. He'll bunt. He'll do hit and run. He'll do all kinds of stuff that if you really bear down, you can at least minimize it to a degree. And then how to break through the ice, man. So he's got to pitch way better. I mean, Coffee's is a good pitcher. He's not a Burning Ice pitcher, but he's a missed pitch. You know, he can hold people down at times. And Ice is one of those people that can be held down. He can struggle mightily to get runs if you pitch him smart and if you just happen to, you know, get onto him a little bit. But he's also a momentum guy like an Eddie, like a Heisman, like a Ricks, that you can't let the cat out of the bag, because once that cat's out of the bag, it's going to be hell trying to chase him down.
good summary going through those points. You know the most about these two guys for sure as the AAA aficionado, but controlling the base pass is, I mean, that's always been a big thing against Burning Ice. We saw it last year. He almost beat Snowbird. He was in the same situation, semifinals, long ball, the #1 seed, and he took her to 7 games, and it was because of the base pass and the way he's able to diddle and play mind games. And when you pair it with his improvement this season, what led him to a top 4 seed is that now he can get some hits mixed in there. Before it was get a guy or two on, use a 99 stealer trait to get all the way around. Now it's get 2 or 3 guys on and do the same thing, and that's how you see those run totals. So I think that's a good point that you told me to put in there, controlling the base pass and breaking through the ice. I mean, personally, I've never found out how to do it. But Coffee, I believe, can figure out how to get some runs. And like you said, he needs to score.
Yeah, one more thing. We have to give Burning Ice credit. The man has improved. I believe he's improved even since the end of the season. He's on a little bit of a growth spurt. So, we're willing to give Coffee that it's going to be a little tougher than he expected, but we need him to show up, and this shouldn't be worse than 50-50. And he's getting steamrolled, so we need to see more.
Right, and I think we will. I think Ice is a little bit of peak. He's peaking right now, I would say, but you expect the Banjos to show up tonight. They might have had a couple of low games, but you're not the #1 seed for no reason, and Coffee is respected around the league. So, from me, from all the fans, we want him to show up tonight, and I believe that he will. He's going to give us some great games, and I would be very shocked to see a sweep. So, we'll get everything rolled over and get Game 3 at you. Hopefully I play Game 3 and not Game 4. I'll try my best, and we'll get it at you here in just a second. Welcome back, everybody. Here we go. Game 3 of your AAA semifinals. The last semifinals we have for Season 18. Well, it might help if y'all can see that game, though, huh? So let me throw that on y'all's screens. There we go. We're at Lafayette Corner, home of the Bluegrass Banjos and Black Coffee for Game 3. Gonna have that home field advantage, Mist. If he's a home run hitter like we've talked about, like we all know, Lafayette is definitely a stadium that bodes well for that sort of play style. We'll see how hot he's able to start here. On the mound, he's got Jose Lima. Really middling stats. Does have an elite 2-seam and a very standard 5-pitch arsenal.
Yeah, I think based on the difference in stadium, being that this one favors Coffee much, much more, that makes this game even more imperative. This is essentially a must-win. I can't imagine coming back, starting game 4 at Shaka or wherever. Where is he parked? I can't remember. One of the large stadiums, Sakura maybe.
Yeah,
I think it's Sakura Hills.
I think it's Sakura Hills.
Actually, Coffee does like Sakura Hills, but this still is a stadium that favors him quite a bit.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And just against a pitcher like Burning Ice, do you really want to try to win 4 straight when you know that there's a game or two that the RNG is going to be against your hitting? I agree with you. This is as desperate as you can be for being down 2-0 in a series. He needs to get this one here. And this starter on the mound is not super strong, but if he's able to locate well, I think he'll be able to get 5 or 6 innings out of this guy. Burning Ice starts with a single right there, one of his speedy top end of the order players up. We've got no fan noise or anything in this, do we? We're going to have to fill a lot of dead air tonight, Mist.
Yeah, I think just one point. The one thing this pitcher has, that elite 2-seam is going to bother Burning Ice quite a bit. He will react to motion. So I think the friend of, I believe his name is Lima, is that going to be that 2-seam fastball.
Yeah, and we'll see how well he's able to mix it in. After a couple games in a series, that's when you really start to get a feel for the batting tendencies at the plate. There's a stealer base pass. We talked about it in the 99th throw. Needed every bit of it. There was so much speed on that base runner. Ooh, he meatballs this one down the middle, and just watch from Burning Ice. You will find Ice time to time kind of guessing on pitch count, it seems, watching pitches. He's in the situation to do it. 3-1. That one's on the corner. 3-2, and now we got a full count. Looking to get out of this inning clean after giving up that one hit. There's another one back up the middle, so it's a good thing he got that guy out at second, or he would have been rounding towards third. So a couple of singles now early for the Gex.
Yeah, and that's the thing about playing someone like Ice. It's not as it's always about accuracy, but it's not as much about accuracy with him as it is sensing his tendencies and how to pitch a given batter in a given situation. He's very situational.
Right. And he's not a huge long ball threat, so one of those players that a meatball you might not give up a big home run. He has added the long ball to his arsenal a little bit more this year than before, but definitely built on speed. And that walk is something you want to really avoid against a fast team like the Gex. He does have 2 outs, but look at that bad ball hitter. Jockey's Pickles, one of the best batters in this lineup early on in the game with 2 on, looking to have a big shot and make Coffee play from behind early already. The pressure on the Banjos in the series. Don't want to start off down early in the first. Need a big out right here from Lima. That one's well located, low and away. 2-1.
Oh, that's a big pitch.
He's going back to that 2-seam, this time up high, really thinking about each pitch. Doesn't swing at it. Burning Ice showing a good eye right now. 3 straight 2-seams. This one comes inside, and now it's a full count. Big spot right here. Bad ball hitter. Very much a trait that can be helpful in a full count like this. He's looking at a changeup low. He's going to throw it.
I think he's going to take.
Oh, and he swung at it. He showed a great eye for a couple at bats right there. So hard to lay off of in that situation with such a tough bat. So after getting a couple on, Burning Ice walks away with no runs. And here comes trash 4. I'm pretty sure his starters are just trash 1, 2, 3, 4. But they're nothing like trash whenever he pitches with them. The stats are a little bit deceiving.
Well, when you got that much junk, just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's not valuable. Those pitchers are hard to hit.
Yeah, and especially against a long ball threat like Black Coffee. You brought that up in the pregame. It's a lot harder to hit home runs against low velo.
And high jump.
Yeah.
It's hard to reticle that stuff up.
He's got the 5-pitch arsenal. Does have a slider on this arsenal. You can see the location early from Burning Ice right here. That one's right there outside on the corner, missing close. That slider low.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw a lot of slider to Coffee. That's generally a bad pitch.
Harmony Strauss took a big hack at that one, but nothing coming from it. Great pitch on the low outside corner. Gets him looking for that strikeout, and here comes Is it Francoeur? I think these are all MLB player names.
Yeah, Francoeur.
Bad ball hitter, so both teams have a bad ball hitter in the middle of that order with pretty good stats, enough to be dangerous. Swung on early, a couple of strikeouts for the Gex here in the first inning, so zeros up on the board through one. Lima comes back up to the plate, gonna look to save a little bit of pitching. He has a lot more pitches on his starter through one inning than Burning Ice does already. Mitch, you would know better than me. What's that Burning Ice bullpen look like? I know he's got Dude Zavala in there. He's probably got that fireballer.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, Lindsay Island is still there with the big over the top fastball. He's got a good bullpen. Those two are the main ones, but you know, he can pitch with anything. He's got Houston over there, and I'm not sure on the SPRP unless that's Houston, but he's definitely got two top end pitchers.
Yeah, Lindsay Island and Dude Zavala lived in my nightmares for quite a long time, rivaling Burning Ice when I joined the league. Coffey's able to get 2 strikeouts of his own here at the top of the second inning. So far we've already seen 4 or 5 strikeouts. The pitchers are locating well on the corners, and looks like he's starting to lock in on the mound after a couple of meatballs in the first. Lima's really locating these moving fastballs well. He goes at it again right there, attacking that low outside zone. No bite on that one. And here comes the curve. Swings, it's followed up. We've seen shallow outfield on pretty much every batter, and there's 3 quick outs. That's what you need if you're the Banjos. He was up to nearly 30 pitches when he started that inning. He's able to get out of that one pretty quick. Only 11 pitches for Trash 4. That one's squared up well, hit over the pitcher's head, and there's the first hit of the game for the Bluegrass Banjos. The home team finally have their first base runner here in the bottom of the second. Looks like he's got a really strong lineup. I don't think I've ever played Coffee other than one scrim, so I'm not familiar with his team much, but it makes sense that he's got a lot of power up and down this order.
Oh, yeah, he definitely pumps the power.
There it is. It shows up. 98 power shot. It's right field. And early on, the Bluegrass Banjos at their home stadium take a 2-0 lead, and that's what you need when you're playing back against the wall in a situation like this. Up 2-0. Tense on the mound already now, and no outs here in the second.
Looked relatively harmless in his first half inning. That was a little bit scary, but suddenly Banjos Nation feeling quite a bit better here.
Zlad, is it not Jackies, bro? Is it Jacquees? He's a great singer. Anyways, that one's squared up, but on the ground to second base. So after that 2-run shot, lines out to second base right there. Man, he's really got power all the way up and down this lineup. Pablo Sandoval, the Panda, I love it. Third baseman comes up to the plate. A couple of quick strikes right there. That one misses outside, good eye from Coffee. Another one worked himself into a 2-2 count now. Still only at 24 pitches is the starter. Ice really attacking the strike zone. Worked himself into a full count now. Here's the curveball, hit well left field. He's got a lot of speed out there in his outfield, though, and he's able to get it because of it for the second put away.
Pretty good swing, though, on a tough pitch. I like what I'm seeing from Coffee all of a sudden.
Yeah, Coffee does look comfortable at the plate, reticuling these balls up well. It's more about your timing than anything against those low velo pitches. Even if you reticle them well, you almost have to have great timing to send it over the wall. Fastball hitter, power versus lefties. A lot of curveballs coming into action right now. Pitcher's back to neutral as well. With that low velo, though, the tense doesn't affect it as much as a high velo starter. So after the 2-run home run, 3 straight put away for Burning Ice on the mound.
Now batting, the pitcher,
Another good swing there. Just a tough pitch and slight miss reticle, and that's all it takes.
So now Ice playing down 2-0 here at the top of the third in Game 3. We've seen him put up a lot of runs so far in this series, but like you brought up, Ice can be shut out from time to time. The outfield shallow is going to hurt Coffee right here. As soon as I talk about the shutout, he's got a leadoff double here, and the way he works those base paths, you would expect it's almost a guarantee for that guy to come around no matter what his speed is. Lily Turtles comes up. Was that the pitcher? Or does he must have an 8-hole pitcher. That was the 9-hole in the order that hit that one. This one's a weak grounder. Moves that runner up to third.
Yeah, but you'll take that out if you're Coffee. Any out is good here.
Sprinter bunter combo. We'll see if he goes to it. Watches that one inside. Two seam he's been using a lot, just like you brought up. That two seam's his best weapon on this starter. He does bunt. We'll see if he goes homer to first. Oh, he tricks it.
Oh,
He might get
wow.
another play, and he does.
Wow. No.
A
Burning
rare-
ice.
a rare
What are you
mistake.
doing?
Burning
Oh, I can't
ice.
believe it. I wish he would do that one time against me. He never does that. He always scores that run, one way or another.
Maybe a little bit of the pressure being down. I'm sure Ice is very much aware of who Black Coffee is and the fact that 2-0 is a little bit of playing with house money in this series. You expect Black Coffee to blow up eventually.
Coffee must have juked him just enough that he thought he was going to go after the runner. But wow, that was shocking.
And those are the sort of plays you need if you're the Banjos to keep Ice where they're at. That one's hit with some decent velocity, but on the ground to shortstop. This one is not an MLB player. This is Harmony Strauss, one of the few players in the game I'm actually aware of.
I'm noticing Coffee's getting on. He is misreticuling some, but he's getting on decently on these balls. This is boding well. I think in the first two games he was, you know what I mean, way off, like rarely reticuling up.
Yeah, his reticle's been really good on these he's seeing a lot of curveballs. It's more so the timing, and that's what Ice is really good at on the mound. That's why he's able to work with low velo, because he'll get you on the timing. Even with that 30 or 40 velocity, the fastball feels like it comes in so fast because he uses it at the perfect times. Curveball swung on early again right there from Harmony Strauss. Only a 111 average so far for her in this series.
Yeah, you make a good point, Uni. Nobody blows the 35 velo fastball by you as much as Ice does. He has that knack for knowing when to throw that.
Reticuling him up, but early on a lot, and he works a walk right there after fouling 3 or 4 away. Gets that pitch count up on that starter after fouling a lot of curveballs off and finds his way to first. Here comes Francoeur again with the bad ball hitter. You're seeing Ice pitch a lot more carefully now as this game has started to wear on after that home run. He's throwing a little bit more passively, and this one's on the zone and it's up the middle, so 2 on, a little bit of 2-out rally action possibly happening. Look at that batter walk up to the plate. RBI Hero is engaged. We'll see if he gets any pitches to hit here. Curveball misses way up high. 625 average, the lone bright spot through this series so far for the Banjo lineup. Looking to show up again right here. Watches that one 2-1. So many curveballs. 3-1.
Coffee has a great eye. That's what's going to save him here if anything does.
Oh, it was hit well, but the power reticle wasn't quite there. Sails that one to center field. So after a couple hits, look at that reticle. It was perfect.
Again, the location plus it's so natural to time a faster fastball or faster pitch than what Ice's starters tend to throw. It's easy, very easy, especially on junk, to be getting, 40, 45, 50, 55 on the power score, which won't get you anywhere.
Yeah, it's going to lead to a lot of flyouts like we just saw to end that last inning. And now there's a ground up to start off the top of the 4th here in our AAA semifinals. A low-scoring game so far compared to the first couple, just 2-0. Black Coffee doing an excellent job on the mound. Looks like he has Ice a little bit thrown off. The lone difference is the 2-run home run. Another well-located pitch on the corner, 2-2. Looks to dip back into it, same spot. Does Ice watch? And he does. There's a strikeout for the second one. Lima really dealing on the mound. Locked in now. 57 pitches, though.
I've noticed is Coffee doesn't seem to be willing to give in. He seems to be going dead corner on every pitch, no matter what the count is. I don't really see him giving in any meatballs at all.
Yeah, he had a couple
He'd rather
in
throw
that
a ball.
first inning, but ever since then, he's been real stingy with his pitching. He even gives up a walk right there. 4 straight pitches. Here comes Vern Radical, one of those 3 or 4 power hitters that Burning Ice has in the lineup. Power versus righties is engaged. He swings at the first pitch. Outside pitch. Also on this batter. Great speed over there at first.
He's going to go.
You can see Coffee's aware of it. Changing up the cadence.
He's stalling him.
Oh, he sure is. It's going to be real suspenseful in the bottom of the ninth one-run game with literally no noise, and he's waiting 45 seconds for each pitch. Curveball coming in low, watches it 2-2. This one's well located on the edge. Hits it hard, but right at the shortstop, so that one's put away, and 4 zeros on the board for Burning Ice. Coffee walks back up, looking to do a little bit more damage, stretch the lead if he can. He actually got run ruled. Both games technically were 10-plus runs. Maybe he can do that himself, but not going to happen right here over there to third.
Number 17.
Ooh, curveball. That one was pretty meaty, but swung on early again. We're seeing a lot of early swings on that curveball so far from Coffee.
Yeah, this is a rare batter that doesn't have a lot of power, but does have that off-speed hitter, which can be pretty valuable and can really put the ball far on hooks.
Yeah, especially against a starter like this. That one's hit well left field, but it's going to be lined out to Hard Apple over there. So 2 put away now, and here comes Pablo Sandoval again. Does have low pitch. We'll see if he gets any. That one's up high on 1. Same spot, and this one's hit up center, so we're seeing a lot of 2-out hits from Coffee so far, and if you're Coffee, you're a long ball hitter. If you got people on with two outs, you're very capable of still scoring runs in the inning because of it. You can see that curveball, though, is really causing trouble on that power. He only had 57 with a great reticle right there, but 57 power. Another curveball well located on the top of the zone. Power versus lefties is on for, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Okay, I'm going to try it. Arabidika or something like that. Arabidika.
Yeah, I would say, just going to the previous point, I would say probably 80 to 85% of SMB players come up with, that are power swingers, come up with a terrible power score against low velo junk. And it's a skill. Weaver used to delay that swing, and that's what I try to do. But even trying to do it, it seems like it's hard to delay it enough. You want to start that bat, and it's so hard to delay that to where you're getting like a 70 or 80 on curveballs. But if you can do it, you can pound those pitches. But it's so hard to wait and get that good power score.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's just in the back of your mind that if you do wait on it and a fastball comes in, even at 30 or 40 velo, you're going to be way late on it. And that's what Burning Ice does so well on the mound. He starts to feel like you have that reticle timed up on the power, and that's when he starts hammering in the 4 seams. That one's hit up the center, so here comes, it was his pitcher that hit that double over the shallow outfield earlier. He comes back up now with a double under his belt, runner on first. So it looks like he might sub, though. We're in the top of the 5th.
I was going to say, Uni, it's actually much easier to be late on low velo if you're a power swinger because of the way you have to delay your swing. It's very easy to be there on time if you're a contact swinger against low velo.
Yeah, low velo is much harder to use against contact swingers, no doubt. This one's hit up shortstop. He just barely dives under it. So 2 on now with 1 out. And the Gex, the front of their lineup coming up. Not a whole lot of speed on the base pass, but a chance to do some damage here and possibly tie this game back up. 2 on, 1 out. Lily Turtles walks up to the plate. Does Coffee think that's illegal? Ice brought in the pitcher for a pinch runner. It looks like it might not matter. There is a lot of speed coming down the line, and it's not going to help him just by a step. Perfect turn from second to short onto first for the double play. So it's still zeros on the board for Gex after a couple on base right there. And now we're going to see a pinch hitter come in. It's Matt Diaz, ace exterminator, to negate Lindsay Island coming in out of the pen. Really high junk this season for Lindsay Island. Velo not as high as I remember from before, though, in previous seasons. Does have that elite cover 4-pitch arsenal.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. She's dropped a little bit of, I think she at one point was like a 90-ish velo with more of a 50 or something, kind of a relatively low junk for Burning Ice. But now he's pumped that. Looks like she's got 90 junk and then maybe 70.
Yeah, I'd say 70. Strauss watches that one, so it's a 1-2 count. Oh, cutter comes in real quick at the knees, and just that velo went from 30 on the last pitcher to 70, so that looks pretty quick coming in on you right there. So 2 outs on the looking strikeout. Still pretty good speed on first. Francoeur back up to the plate with bad ball hitter. Watches that cutter inside. We'll see how well Coffey's able to keep his eye in check with the increase in velo. 2-2, a well-located curve yet again. Good eye there, full count now.
In general, Coffey handles moving fastballs pretty well, so I think he can hit her.
Ooh, takes the walk right there. Good eye from him at the plate. So 2 are on now. And the RBI hero walks up again. The second time in this game he's been up with RBI hero engaged, 2 outs. See if he gets a chance to do some damage right here. Lined it to the center fielder last time. That one in the zone. Watches it 1-1. Ooh. That looked a little meaty. 1-2. There's a rare fastball, and he gets to
good
it.
Swing.
Excellent job from Coffey to get to that after seeing so many off speed. That 4-seam, I'm sure Ice thought was going to throw him off, but the Banjos get to it, and here comes the home run hitter who had that 2-run shot.
Oh, look at where that was. He got down on it. He golfed it.
Bases are loaded here with 2 outs in a major spot for the Banjos. Possibly their season on the line. Already down 2-0 in this series here in the middle innings. Chance to do something. Watches that one, 1-2.
Yeah, and that last fastball from Ice, that's one of his classic tricks, is to throw the low fastball after not throwing a fastball for a long time. It's kind of a PR trick because that ball looks like it's coming in at about 900 miles per hour under the plate, but it's coming straight at you, and he puts it right underneath the box.
And it works.
And I always swing at it.
Oh, curveball in again. So we did see a 2 RBI single from the Banjos, and now they're up to 4. A 4-run lead. The steal. What about timing? That's perfect. Mojo is up on that now. Runners on second and third. A decent hit in the gap here is going to score 2 more. We'll see if Constanza can do it. He takes the walk. So a couple of walks now in this inning, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs yet again. And here comes Pablo Sandoval. Could have an extremely loud inning. Look at that accuracy. It's at 0. Big spot.
Yeah, I would get her out of there. She's done. She's going to get cooked right here.
Desperately trying to get one last out. With that accuracy, it's already a 3-0 count. Pablo Sandoval thirsting at the plate, looking for a meaty pitch. He watches that one, 3-1. We'll see if it's bombs away right here. Full count he's worked himself into. We'll see. Huge spot here in the bottom of the 5th. Oh, just barely off the edge. So 3 walks. What an eye from Coffey, and he walks a run in now. It's 5-0. Another good batter up behind. Lindsay Island came in, and she's been struggling, and she comes back out before she even gets an inning under her belt. And here comes that SPRP with the bases still loaded, 2 outs. That one slapped up center. Oh. It's going to be enough. It's going to get through. It's going to score 2 more, and the lead is up to 7 now, just like that. A 5-run inning from the Banjos, and they're still looking to do some damage. The pinch hitter has worked himself all the way back around. Slaps that one to left field. Now the bases are going to be loaded yet again. A chance here to end this game. It's 7-0. If he can get 3 runs across here, and Hieronymus Jackson has the power to do it, we'll see if he can. Beatrice already tense on the mound. 2-0 count.
It was definitely the right move to bring her in. He had to do that. It's not working out. Deep
left field. Is it going to get out of there? Coffey wins another grand slam. Hello, welcome to the series. Bluegrass Banjos. It's going to be 11-0 ball game, and we've got a series on our hands now, Mist.
Yeah, the gloves are off now. That's what it is. This is what we were kind of hoping for, just to spark this series into something more interesting than a potential sweep. So credit the Banjos. It didn't seem like the Gex were playing that poorly, but couldn't get the offense out of first gear, and then had a couple of base running blunders.
Yeah, what a flip of the switch from the Banjos right there after getting run ruled themselves twice in the first 2 games. Now everything's turned around. We've seen a run roll through all 3 games so far, score-wise technically. And this time it's the Bluegrass Banjos who are able to get it. So we've got a 2-1 series now. Let me change that on your screens. And we're going to be at home of the Gex going into Game 4. They still have a game in hand on the Banjos, but when you look at the batting, the way that they just showed up, and you saw him start locating well on the mound, this series has become very interesting. You'll give us a few minutes, and we'll get Game 4 right at you. Hang on tight. Welcome back after a quick break. Here we go. Game 4, Sacred Hills. We were right, missed. Home of the Gex. Montreal Gex. Up 2-1 in the series. Looking to take a commanding 3-1 lead, but the Banjos, the way they played in the last game, looks like they're going to have plenty of words to say before this thing's over. We'll see if they're able to keep the bats hot and that pitching on point the way it was. It was a nasty grand slam to end Game 3, and they start at the plate in their blue pinstripe uniforms with the gray pants. Green and yellow unis for the Gex. Here comes Trash 2. A lot less junk on the mound this time. Pretty much the same velo. Outfield was shallow there, but Hard Apple's able to range back and get it. Outfield shallow against Coffee is interesting, but I guess it works right there.
Yeah, this is not as strong a pitcher as the previous. Still a good burning ice pitcher, has a nice arsenal.
Yeah, he was able to start hitting that low velo quite well last time. I mean, really, when he started to pop off was when the velo came in, though. But we saw a lot of strong reticles from him on that lower velo, and it was a lot higher junk. So we'll see if he's able to adjust to the lower junk. A lot less break on these pitches. No slider in this arsenal, but he does have the additional moving fastball. 3-0 count here. Also walk prone on this starter, it looks like. A couple of quick outs, but here finds himself in a 3-1 count. Ropes it left field. Is it going to get out? It looks like it's going to die at the warning track. That's Sacred Hills for you. The wind blows straight in. And so 3 up, 3 down. And here comes the starter, Maxima Fried. 5-pitch arsenal. Looks like she's got that screwball in there, which can be a tough pitch. Relatively similar stats across the board. Just the elite screwball instead of the elite two-seam. We'll see if he's able to locate the same way he did last game. Shut down Burning Ice for the first time in this series. He's going to need more of the same here in Game 4 to try to tie this thing back up.
Yeah, a lot like Game 1. He's got an elite moving pitch in addition to the cut fastball. So this is a good arsenal against Burning Ice. But if I'm Burning Ice, I'm still relatively confident. Everything seemed to go against the Gex in Game 3. I think he can turn this around. He could do really well here at home.
And there's that stealer off rip. Is he able to get it? Wow, all that speed and no pitch out or anything, and he gets it just like last game. The early base runner is thrown out. I'm surprised he was even able to get that with all the speed on base combined with the stealer trait. Nonetheless, he does get it, and that's a perfect bunt down third base line, going to be a single. And now we're seeing how the Gex play baseball. The real problem for them in the last game is they just hardly manufactured anybody on base for him to work those base paths the way he does. So even 1 or 2 bunts can be huge for the Gex, and they get one right here. We'll see if he goes to the steal again after being 0 for 2 on the night stealing. Hits that one to second. He's not going to be able to get the double play because of the speed, but does get it out at first. And here comes Axel Sawhorse. Look at all that power. RBI heroes on, off-speed hitter as well. See how aggressive he gets with that base open at first.
Yeah, I was going to say, not the end of the world to walk this chap.
Uh-oh, that one's in the zone, but he watches it 1-1. Off-speed hitter is on this. Ooh, I'd be scared to throw anything off-speed with all that power. Fastball low and away, 2-2. Ice look like he's being aggressive. Fastball up high. Watches it. Now it's a full count. We'll see if he does give him a pitch to hit. Goes back
he's
to that
swinging
high
at anything.
And he strikes him out. So after a bunt to get on and a thrown out, trying to get to second, it's just like the last game started. 2 people got on the base for the Gex in the first inning, but nothing comes across, and Coffee comes back up to the plate.
A little bit of a dangerous pitch, but he did keep it up slightly above the zone, which most likely would have been a pop-up if he catches it.
Right. That one was hit down the third base line. A good dive over there at third, and enough arm to get him out at first. Not much speed at all on this Black Coffee lineup. Ooh, nasty curveball on the inside at the chin, 0-2.
Yeah, I don't know why Uni. I just have a feeling the Gex are going to win this game. I don't know why. I have no reason to believe that.
Sounds professional.
Yeah.
That's how most of our takes are. I don't know why, but it's going to happen.
But
sure.
I went out on a limb and took the home team.
Oh, ballsy. That's Sakura, ballsy. We'll see, though. The way that the Banjos reticled it up last game, I would expect plenty of more runs to be scored here. You noted before the game he needs at least 5+. He only needed 1 to win the last game, but he went ahead and got 11. See if he's able to do the same thing. Works himself a 3-2 count here to Costanza. Curveball's meaty. Swung on early, off-speed hitter. Isn't going to matter here. Another foul ball on that curve. Curveball yet again pops this one up. You can see the reticle power only at 51. Lily Turtles ranges over there and puts it away. So 2 scoreless frames so far for Coffee. And here comes, I don't know what it is. Apparently it's not Jackie's pistols or pickles or whatever. It's something else. But he's up to the plate and he's got good stats. Decent power, really good speed. The shortstop for Gex and his... And for Burning Ice and his Gex, I mean, 3-1 count. We're seeing some stingy pitching on the mound. This one's on the corner. He's able to get to it. Hits it up center, so no outs. And we've got great speed on first. We'll see how aggressive he gets. So far, 0 for 2 on the day on steals. So much speed up and down that lineup, you would think he's going to try it again and again.
Outside pitch here with Radical. Very good hitter.
Yeah, power versus righties isn't on, but he's got enough power, especially if he gets an outside pitch he can take care of. This one's well located in there. 1-1. Up to 25 pitches now for the starter. He is going to give him an outside pitch. We'll see if he clips the zone, but then decides to go for the pickoff. Luckily, first baseman's able to snag it. Perfect pitch, low and away right there. 1-2 count. Man, all this pausing with no noise is messing with my anxiety. I need coffee to speed this up. Or turn the crowd noise on. The people that don't use crowd noise, oh my gosh. I understand if you really want to get sweaty with it, but I like to hear.
Even then, no. You have to have some crowd noise.
Like, where's the character? Or as I like to say, where's the passion? I thought AAA had the passion, dude. We weren't supposed to be all sweaty in the AAA.
I'm upset that there's no fans in the stadium. Come on. Although these two had so much trouble that I think anything they can do to cut graphic,
Yeah,
pressure,
from what I heard from the DMs talking to them, trying to get this series underway, I think they went and did a little bit of Step Brothers bunk bed situation and just played in the same room so they could get this series in. So I appreciate that. They had plenty of room for activities by the end of it, from what I heard. We got 2 on here with 1 out, 2-1 count. Outfield still shallow. Ooh, good pitch on the inside right there, 2-2. Kawashi says the passion's in the AA. No doubt it's in the AA. Y'all take passion to another level with y'all's pitching arsenals.
Yeah, rumor has it that Coffee's wife makes a mean cookie, so I'm hoping it was at Black Coffee's bunk that they had that double up.
This one's over to first. Not hardly any speed. Very rare case of no speed coming down the line right there. But we got 2 on second and third. Pitcher comes up. He did have a pitcher double in the last game. This one over there to shortstop and just able to get there. So both innings so far, Ice has had people on base, but no runs have came across. Good job from the Banjos getting out of these jams. Now they're looking to do some damage of their own and get some people on base. Quiet so far through 2. And Barry, welcome to the chat, bro. Sham, Space, Elron.
You know what we never saw in game 1? We never saw Dude Zavala.
You're right, we didn't see Dude Zavala because Lindsay Island came in and threw the game away. Very surprising from her, but she actually has a terrible ERA for the series, so if I was Ice, I would monitor that. It seems like Coffee is able to take care of Lindsay Island. And right there's a floater over to second base, put away, well reticled, but it was outside the zone. We're seeing a lot of early swings, just like early in the last game. Coffee's fouling off nearly every curveball, even with good reticles. We'll see if he's able to adjust his timing. 88 on the fastball, looked like 97. Watches it, though. And there's the curveball, 2-2.
He's got to be able to hit this pitcher because there's going to be much worse coming out of the pen.
Oh, located well, low and away on that curve. Pitcher comes up to the plate now, and yeah, like you said, he needs to get to these starters to get to that bullpen. It almost helps him to get to these starters just to get the bullpen in so he can start seeing some velo. Pitcher's able to get a hit, so the first hit of the game for the Banjos comes from the pitcher here. Victor Meadows corrals him and brings it back to something Pickles.
Yeah, I think unlike other AAA players, even if Ice comes with velo out of the blue, that velo is not going to bother Coffee.
Oh, Big Hack is on. Look at this guy.
Oh,
Another curveball hit well, but foul. Big Hack is turned off now for Hieronymus Jackson, and now it's going to be right back on. 3-1 count. We'll see if he's able to get a hold of one right here. Curveball, he hits it well through the gap, and so we've got 2 on 2 outs. We saw a big 2-out rally from Coffee in that last game. He scored, I believe, 9 runs with 2 outs to end that thing. Capped off with that grand slam. Harmony Strauss up now, watches the curveball low and away.
yeah, and that locked in only lasted 1 or 2 pitches, and now Crash 2 is back down. Let's see if Harmony can do something.
Oh, tough pitch on the knees.
This is the signature player for the Banjos.
Good eye there, full count. We'll see if she has a signature moment here. Walk prone is engaged. Good eye right there, so a walk.
Whoa.
And the bases are loaded now after Harmony Strauss takes that one. And Frank Cora with bad ball hitter. What an eye on that pitch right there on the corner. Not a lot of speed. Need a decent hit here to get more than 1 or 2 runs across. Hits it well right field. There's a lot of speed over there on right. He's ranging over. Snags it at the knees. So finally, we see some base activity there from the Banjos, but nothing comes across. It's still 0-0 going into the bottom of the 3rd here. Swinging early is Burning Ice right there and put away for the first out.
Yeah, my gal Turtles with a quick ground out there. You'd like to see a little more from her.
He'll throw in that random first pitch swinging. Ice will for sure. You see that from quite a few players. From a player like me, you're going to get that first pitch swinging pretty much any time that I'm tapped out mentally.
Weak bunt.
That's the 2nd bunt so far from the game. Both successful from that 2-hole hitter, and all that speed back there on first. Is he going to get active on the base pass?
Fry didn't seem to move very well off the hill there. I don't know what her speed is, but you can have 60 speed on your pitchers now for relatively cheap, but she didn't seem to get off the dime.
Yeah, Coffee almost looked surprised by the fact Ice had a 60-speed pitcher subbed into pinch run in that last game, so...
Exactly.
I don't know if Coffee knows about these things. I think he only knows that power hits ball hard.
That's what I was going to say, is he probably doesn't know those things. He knows how much it costs for 70 power.
Right. He's probably got that thing down to a T. Great pitch low and away right there, 2-2. He watches it. Victor Meadows has a lot of power himself. Don't want to play with this too much. He also has high pitch, and it looks like he's going to go high on the screwball. It's going to be outside the zone. Full count now he's worked himself into. 48th pitch on the way. Going high again. This one's inside. He dives and catches it with his chin somehow on the double play.
Big time play by Short.
That's one of those you see bounce off because of the dive was a little bit awkward. But right there, the RNG helps him out. He's able to get it. Now right back, first pitch swinging. No outs, 1 on here for the Banjos. Mojo is up for that batter, and we'll see if this can be the development of the first runs we score in this game. We're in game 4. It's 2-1 in the series right now. This one's hit well. Still foul, but closest we've seen a curveball beat a fair so far this game. This one's hammered center field, but... Burning Ice in Sacra Hills has the large, powerful fans that are hidden that you can't see, blowing about 45 miles an hour in, so that one dies before the warning track.
And that's the wrong part of the park over there. You want to hit it over there to right field.
Good speed over there at first. A decent hit can bring this guy all the way around. You need to find a gap under that curveball. Trash 2 at 56 pitches now, losing his stats a little bit. Not that it matters a whole lot with this sort of build. Perfectly timed steals so far tonight. 2 for 2 on steals for the Banjos. 0 for 2 for Gex. And the tailless turtles or frogs or whatever they are. I think he's a shellless
Aren't they
turtle.
lizards?
I like to think they're a shellless turtle.
That's close enough for me. You know, what's interesting, Uni, is at this park, from home plate, look how easy it is to see how much shorter right field is than to like left center.
Yeah, I can actually.
It's partly
read
the lighting, but you can still see it's way shorter.
Yeah, and if he was able to just slow down a tad on the curveballs, the way he's been hammering them, but foul, if he could just slightly change his timing, you would expect to see a lot of home runs down the line. But nonetheless, it's still 0-0. After he moves that runner to third, nothing comes of it. And we're into the bottom of the 4th. Some pretty quiet action so far. The pitchers are dealing on the mound. You get in the later innings, a lower scoring game really bodes well for Burning Ice a lot of the times, but we saw a big inning from the Banjos. We know they can pop off at any time. Ice has Axel Sawhorse at the plate, worked himself into a full count. Going to see a pitch up high here, and he watches it, so a leadoff walk. Leadoff runners on base for both so far.
You can't give Ice a leadoff walk, even if it's Sawhorse.
And Pickles up to the plate now, so it's going to be the middle of this order up. With the runner to start on first, this could be a good inning to break the lead if you're Burning Ice. Oh, back-to-back walks. Uh-oh. Now you're danger yellow to, I'd say orange. Got a little bit of sunset orange danger on the meter right now. 2 on and great speed at first. A good hit could score 2 right here.
You know, as great as she's done, if I'm Coffee, I'm not hitting right now. I might come with Black Lightning or somebody right now because as good as she's pitched, you can't let her give up 2 or 3 runs here.
Yeah, no doubt. Got into a 2-2 count right here. This is a pretty big spot early in this inning to try to stemmy the tide. That one's just low. Full count. Desperately needs to find the zone here. Looks like he is on the corner. Perfect pitch. Sandoval dives. The Panda can't get there.
Yep,
now the bases are going to be loaded with no outs. We'll see if he does go to that bullpen.
You got to. You can't leave her in there now.
Been such a quiet game, and Black Coffee is one with the mystery man, and he goes to that bullpen. It's Vincent Black Lightning. Rally stopper on. Look at all that velo. 4-pitch arsenal. Brings the velo. 101 on that first pitch. Look at that ERA. Burning Ice has tore up this reliever so far in the series. Looks to change his fate and fortune here in this one. Changeup swung on early. Got a 1-2 count. Looks like he's going towards the changeup again. It's low. It's watched. 2-2. Needs a big out right here. Here comes the heat. Up top, gets him swinging. That's what Black Lightning is made for, to get those fastball strikeouts, and he gets it to start there. And now a chance to set up the double play and get out of this inning unscathed. Good eye there. I'm sure that's a tough one to watch. That cutter coming in with all that velo. 1-1 count.
You got to be careful with that cutter coming in, though. He'll get a hit on that. You need to limit that.
Pokes that one foul, so 2-2 count. Another big pitch on the way for Black Lightning, and curveball misses low. Full count. Every at-bat going deep into the count right now. Looking at that four-seam up top. It's a little bit meaty. It's popped over. He went with the hit and run, but he's not able to get the double play. Enough speed over there on first to get back, and here comes Trash 2, the pitcher. He is locked in, so he has some decent hitting stats. It's a two outs, bases loaded situation. If Coffee's able to get out of this, it might be a signature moment. He's going to get it over to first in time. He can't. Enough speed on the pitcher, and the second baseman's hurt.
Cannot put a pitch on the plate.
Sprained wrist that makes him extremely slow, which makes absolutely no sense. Okay, he's going to go for a sub.
This pitch needs to be about a foot above the plate. You cannot be throwing pitches on the plate right now.
Still trying to get that last out in this inning. Bases were loaded with no outs. Worked it into just 1 run came across for Burning Ice. Black Coffee and the Banjos desperately trying to keep it at 1 run right here. It's a 2-1 count. Fastball comes in. Swings late. 2-2. Payoff pitch might be coming. Circling the reticle. Thinking. Calculating. Inside, and he watches it. Full count. 19th pitch already for Black Lightning. Fastball up high again.
No,
Sandoval can't get there. What a hit from Burning Ice. It's down the line. The people are rounding the bases. They're going all the way around to home. And it's a 3 RBI double for Burning Ice, and the Gex in the lead just like that, up to 4. It looked like the Banjos might have got out of that mist, and now a 2-out rally from Gex, and the game is flipped on its head.
Yeah, he's gotten to Black Lightning again.
Yeah. Up to an 18 ERA. His ERA hasn't even went up since he's came in. That's how much Black Lightning has struggled so far in this series. And now tense on the mound and no rally stopper. And this time he's able to get it without all the stats, but not before 4 runs come across for Burning Ice. And that's a tough situation to be in now if you're the Banjos. It looks like he didn't pull that second baseman. He's down 4 runs now. Hasn't been able to really manufacture any momentum at the plate. Now in the 5th inning, Trash 2 has been absolutely dealing. Can he get to him? He starts off with a single right there. As good of a start as any.
Yeah, you gotta really, it's almost relaxing to be down because then you say, okay, I need to do my thing, and if I lose, I lose. But he got a nice single there.
You're relaxed when you're down?
Yeah, sometimes because it's more pressure to be tied up. If you drop down, sometimes you feel like you're probably going to lose. So just make sure you focus on your stuff because then maybe you got a chance to come back.
Has plenty of time. Top of the fifth. Finds himself in a 1-2 count right here. Runner on first has low speed because of the injury. What a pitch on the inside there. Gets him looking for the first out. Here comes the top end of that lineup. Hieronymus Jackson up to the plate. Looking to tie this game back up. Oh, it's grounded to Pickles over there onto Evergreen and to Sawhorse for a double play. And now it looks like we're going to see another reliever come in after Lightning got messed up yet again in this series. Darling comes in on the mound with really middling stats, but does have specialist. That injured second baseman dives yet again, this time actually able to get the out despite the sprained wrist.
It does seem like Coffey was taking a lot better swings in game one, even though it was a tougher pitcher. But every game is different in this game.
No doubt. And like they say in baseball, the momentum only goes as far as your starter. I think they say that, right?
I've never heard that, but it sounds pretty good to me.
Well, you heard it here first. The momentum only goes as far as your starter, and you can trademark that and put it on a T-shirt.
I like it.
I like it too because I said it. 0-1 count. 2 outs already here in the fifth. Darling has came in and already done more than Black Lightning did. 1-2 count now. Maz likes it. I think Maz is already in the process of making T-shirts as we speak. And there's a strikeout right there, so a really quick inning after giving up 4 in the fourth. A quiet inning there in the fifth for Burning Ice. And Harmony Strauss comes up to the plate. Coffey desperately looking to get any sort of momentum going at the plate.
Yeah, and against Ice especially, a locked-in pitcher, that momentum kicks in, and there's no place to hit the ball. It's always going to find, the only place you can really hit it is up the middle, get a couple singles, and maybe get a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, and the mental battle of playing a pitcher like Burning Ice for more than one game. Even one game is terrible mentally, but facing him 2 games or for a whole series, all those hits that you hit well but just go nowhere, like this one right here to center field, really start to take a toll on you. So there's 2 outs now. Runner's still on first. Pretty much every hit we've seen so far for the Banjos have been weak hits up center. All of his well-hit balls have been low power flyouts to outfield. That one's just inside. Speed at first. He's looking for more than speed, though. Looking to get this one over the wall. And yet again, you see that red power meter. It's been consistently red so far for the Banjos. You can tell he's winding up early in this game. And Burning Ice has him right where he wants him here in the bottom of the 6th at his home stadium. Up 2-1 in this series already. A 3-1 lead would be quite commanding. This one's flown out to start the bottom of the 6th.
Still time for the Banjos. We don't really like what we're seeing here, but he needs to get, like we said, 2 or 3 singles, put some doubt in that pitcher's mind, because right now, Burning Ice, he still has his entire bullpen.
Oh, and that injury might have cost him right there. Not much arm on that second baseman. Yeah, we saw a pretty dead ball game until Burning Ice started. He started with a couple of leadoff walks, and that's what turned into the 4-run inning.
Right.
It could very rapidly turn into the same sort of situation. We saw a couple of walks lead to the big inning for Black Coffee in the last game. So,
yeah, and what typically happens when you see a walk or 2 to start an inning is it feels like it's almost never more than 1 or 2 batters before that starting pitcher is gone. And sure enough, I don't think it was more than 2 batters, and she was gone.
Right.
And she was cruising. She was completely cruising coming into that half inning. In fact, I almost noted it, and then she started walking batters, and the wheels came off.
Trash 2 cruising himself on the mound right now. He's at his 80th pitch coming. Locked in. His stats are practically where they started. Absolutely dealing on the mound right now. Banjo still looking to just get any sort of momentum and put some people on the base pass. That strike finds the zone, so it's going to be a full count here to the first at bat, or the first batter, Costanza. That one's foul. Still red power reticles on these curves. 45, you can see it right there. He's just way early on these curves right now.
That's not going to generate anything.
50. Yeah, it's
50, it won't do anything.
Been consistent. I'm a little bit surprised to see a player of Black Coffee's caliber not adjust his power reticle to this point. It seemed like he adjusted in the first game because we saw a few home runs, but so far in this game, it's been just consistently 45 to about 65 on the power meter, and nothing's finding gaps.
Yeah, I mean, as great a player as he is, if there's one weakness to Coffey's game, it's that he wakes up in the morning looking for a fastball.
Number 23.
That one might be the highest power we've seen yet, 73, but he doesn't have a good reticle on that one, and so it's getting late in this ball game now, Mist. We're into the last 2.5 innings. Burning Ice still holds that 4-0 lead, and we still haven't seen a reliever come in for his team.
Yeah, it's dire straits right now. When you're not hitting Ice for this long, it's tough to turn it around.
Yeah, and if you're Coffey, you need to hold this lead at 4. Give yourself a chance to get back into this game. You don't have to get it all in one inning. He still has a couple of tries, 6 outs to play with, and he's very capable of doing so. Louis Turtles.
You can't let Turtles on. Count. You cannot let Turtles on base.
Learned from that leadoff walk mistake before. Goes for the strike on the changeup right there. Great pitch on the corner, and he's able to get the strikeout. Seen a couple of bunts from Chelsea, and she does it again, but this time it's not going to work. So there's the second out of the inning. She's 2 for 3 on bunts so far in this game. Specialist coming into play against Victor Meadows here. Good pitch on the outside there.
A nice clean half inning would at least be a tiny spark of momentum, I would think, for the Banjos mentally.
Yeah, if you're the Banjos, whenever I'm struggling at the plate, the best thing that I always think you can do for yourself is have a quick inning on the mound so you can stay in rhythm at the plate.
Right.
Gives up one on base right there, though. Axel Sawhorse is up, contact extremely low at that Specialist. We'll see if he gets aggressive on the base pass, having this lead with 2 outs. He would turn the RBI hero on here. We haven't seen a steal ever since he got thrown out there in the first inning. That's a good strike down there on the knees. Another good strike. 1-2 count now to Sawhorse. Darling has came in and done really well. If he's able to get this out, it's 3 scoreless innings, and he does. So 3 scoreless innings for the reliever that has came in after Lightning gave up 4. We'll see if he pulls him out. Yeah, he needs to. He needs to have runs right here. We'll see who comes in. It's Cripple Creek. First at bat of the series, rally starter. 90th pitch coming for Trash 2.
Wow, still hitting corners, but he's got the rally starter.
And a rally starter is needed here. Watches that one up top, 2-1. Stats are so low for this starter. This one's hit well, but Evergreen's able to get there. The stats on that second baseman are some of the highest you're going to see in the league. He did charge his reticle up earlier right there. It was blue instead of red, but still low on the power. Top end of his lineup is up. He's going to have his best batters to end this game if he's going to come back in this one. This is the part of the order you want to be in. 1-1 count now. That one hit well, and finally down the line. It's well struck, hits the chalk, and he's got a double now, a 1-out double. And we'll see if that sparks anything at the plate for the Banjos. Any bit of scaries, and I'm sure we're going to see Dude Zavala come in. But for now, Trash 2 still stands in there. No reason to take him out so far. Harmony Strauss up to the plate, been quiet so far in this series. Under a 100 average. Really needs to show up in a moment like this. Works a 3-0 count. Now walk prone is on. Swings! You could see a little bit of desperation there out of that one. Swinging a 3-0 count on a pitch inside. And now it's 2 outs with the runner on second.
Oh, he chased 3-0 on the curveball. All he's throwing is curveballs.
Yeah, I hate to see that, but that is ice. And that one's popped up. So after he gets that double, 2 outs, and here comes something. Decaf cappuccino. Who would ever drink that? What's the point? But he's got reverse splits. He's got elite 4-seam, and he's got a weird looking neck. But he's the closer for this team, and he's trying to keep this thing where it's at, 4-0, and give his team a chance. Only 3 outs to play with if he gets back up. Bottom of the 8th here in our semifinals.
You know, it seemed like the signature rallies in both games, Uni, were sparked by back-to-back base on balls. And Coffee's eye in this game has not been anywhere close to what we saw in Game 3.
Yeah, no doubt, and credit to Ice, the way he's been able to just mix in right off of the edge of the zone pitches, and more than any pitch in the game, the curveball off the edge of the zone is the hardest one to do anything with. You can do something with a 4-seam right off the edge of the zone, but curveball with that damage negation, or I mean that, I've been playing too much Marvel, with that power negation is really tough to get anything with. There's a strikeout there for Cappuccino on the mound. Cappuccino? I think I said it right.
Yeah. And it gets infinitely harder, Uni, when you're mistiming the power swing on top of that curveball being off the zone.
Oh, 2-pitch coming right outside. 4-pitch arsenal for a closer, so this is a decent costing closer with that 4-seam. He comes in and gets the job done in this situation. Still 4-0. 3 outs to play with. Coffee showed that he can have a big rally. He did it last game, looking to do it here. That one's hit well, but once again, red power on the reticle. And it's floated out there to center field. Sakura Hills is playing a big part in this game so far. Everything's dying out there. And Trash 2 is looking to get a complete game, up to 105 pitches now. There we go. It finds a gap for Coffee over there in left. Dove from Hard Apple keeps it at a single. In this situation, doesn't really matter, but it does keep the double play ball in the picture now. You need to start something. You've got one on. You need a couple more of those. Swung on early on the curve yet again.
And sometimes the SMB gods will kind of turn that momentum a little bit, but you've still got to hit the ball and not pop it up.
In the XBL, you see a lot of 9th inning rallies no matter what the score is, but he's going to need something incredible right here. Down 4 with no outs to play with at this point. Pablo Sandoval up. Watches the curveball up top.
He just hasn't been able to control the plate against those curves. They're so hard to judge. Oh, there he got it.
Right down the middle.
Pick.
Still only 50 power, but he's able to get it through a gap. And Burning Ice has used probably 95% fastballs so far in this game, and I wonder if he's found something for the rest of the series, the way that he's done that here tonight. It seemed like he used a lot of curveballs in the last game, but Coffee just seemed like a different player at the plate.
Yeah, you know, it gets more and more pressure when you fall behind, and sometimes you chase those curves even more.
This one's shallow outfield. It's floated over there to center and put away. So just like that, 4-0, and Burning Ice takes a 3-1 lead in this series, holding down Coffee yet again in commanding fashion. Burning Ice shows why he's a Von Asen Award winner and finds himself up in this series with a chance to close it out when we come back up, but not before Coffee had something to say about it still in Game 3.
Yeah, Game 3 was everything we want to see from Coffee, especially the plate discipline really bit into and eventually caught up to Burning Ice. But in Game 3, that fairly weak starter got cooking, and you saw that the pressure that was put on Coffee lended its way to an uncharacteristically poor command of the strike zone that killed him.
Yeah, it's just whenever you play someone like Ice, like I said, it just drains you at the plate, because when he misses, he barely misses, and then it's just you never know when he's going to mix in that fastball randomly. It seemed like he didn't ever have to there in Game 2. The curveball worked the entire game. If you're the Banjos, your back is against the wall now. You're in complete desperation mode. You can't lose another game. He will be back home at Lafayette for Game 5, but the way the way Burning Ice is pitched, you said it before the game, Coffee needs at least 5 runs in each game. In the first game, he only needed 1, but if he would have scored 5 right there, he would have won the game. So it was an excellent call from you, and Coffee's got to figure out how to get those runs on the board against a Von Asen level pitcher like Burning Ice, and he's got to do it now for 3 straight games if he's going to come back and win this series.
Yeah, and that's That's why we thought Game 3 was so crucial, is because remember, Coffey's the home team, so 2 of the next 3 are going to be at Lafayette. If he wins the next one, which he's plenty capable of doing, it's almost 50-50 at that point. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but if he does, he'll have momentum from a win, and then he really would only have to win 1 game on the road, which he's certainly capable of, especially the fact he doesn't really mind Sakura Hills, but it definitely does play to Burning Ice a little bit. So the fact that there's only going to be 1 more game there at most is nice.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the key of this series. If I was a guess, I would pick the Banjos to win the next game back at home at Lafayette. We saw that power show up, but if he's going to win this series now, it's obvious he has to win at least 1 game at the away stadium. But I would have said that before the series. You've got to steal one from Ice in one of those pitcher duels at his stadium. And so far, he hasn't been able to do that. Ice is undefeated at home. And Coffey is kind of facing his first test so far in these playoffs after he steamrolled his way all the way to this point. Now he finds himself in the back seat to Burning Ice. But it's a long series, and we've seen reverse sweeps before, and Coffey is the number 1 seed for a reason. And we saw in Game 3 why he is the 1 seed, because he can hit like that, and I would expect Coffey to get some practice swings in against some low velo and come out in Game 5 and show that he's very capable of hitting low velo. It's not like he's never seen it before. And I think this thing is still going to go 6 or 7 games, but this is all we have left before the World Series. Whoever wins this one's going to find themselves against Teflon, and that's going to be an excellent matchup, whichever one it is. And yeah, I don't know when we're going to get it at you. We do have a lot of games coming up this weekend between the XBL World Series, the AA World Series, and then the continuation of this one. But we've got a lot of stuff coming at you. It was a great set tonight. We saw a split. You always love to see a split on Match of the Week no matter what stage of the game you're at. But, yeah, it was fun casting with you, Mist. You got any last words?
Just kind of interesting. I believe both games at Sakura Hills were 4-0 Ice, so that means Coffey hasn't scored a single run at Sakura Hills, a stadium that he likes. So that's something he obviously, to win the series, going to have to turn around. That's going to be the toughest thing, I think, is to win a game at Sakura Hills. Like you said, it seems reasonable to assume he can win at Lafayette. He's not going to bat as poorly as he did there. He got off track. He got under pressure. But kind of like what I was saying, he needs to get to that weak pitcher early, because you can't. Ice is just too good. You can't give his pitcher a bunch of feel good. Even if he has trash statistics, he's going to burn you up and just start throwing curveballs on the corner on every single pitch. So you got to knock that out of him early. And game 4 there, Coffey wasn't able to do it, but I'm still excited for the series, especially heading into Lafayette. So going to be fun.
Yeah, going to be fun. And Ice is one of those pitchers that no matter who he's pitching with, once he starts rolling downhill, he really builds steam, and he just finds that groove, and you could see it right there in Game 4. So, yeah, it's 3-1 now in the series. Burning Ice is up. It's going to be back at Lafayette Stadium for Game 5. The Banjos back against the wall. They're going to be looking to get 3 wins in a row to try to win this thing, or the next time we cast, we might see Burning Ice find himself in his first ever AAA World Series. Either way, it's going to be a fun time. We've got this weekend coming at you. I believe Saturday and Sunday is what we're looking at, so we're going to try to cast a couple of days this weekend and start those World Series matchups that everyone's been waiting on. We've got some dope urbans set up for those World Series that you don't want to miss in the pregame. And then obviously the players themselves are going to give us some excellent games. So it was fun tonight. I'm happy to be back in the booth with my favorite booth mate, Mystery Man, and it was fun tonight. The AAA aficionado was here as he should be, and y'all make sure you watch the show announcements tab. We're going to get the post probably tomorrow for what the weekend schedule is going to look like. So keep your eyes peeled and don't lose that excitement that you have. It's World Series, baby. This is the best time of the year. Screw the cup until the World Series is over, dude. I don't even care. And I may only say that a little bit because I'm eliminated, but screw it anyways. It's World Series time, baby. So y'all make sure you keep your eyes peeled to the Discord. I'll catch y'all in there. Y'all have a good night. See you, everybody.